We alive. We alive. Back in effect. Monday Night Raw has just went off. I know what a lot of people said about SmackDown. I know how SmackDown was trending, and that word that was trending with SmackDown, it's not trending with Raw. Yeah, you're alive and awake for Raw, y'all. Raw was fire tonight. How y'all felt about it?
Better than last week. It's
Yes,
starting to
sir.
feel like SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel a little SummerSlammy, and yeah, that's always good. Because I've been saying for the past few weeks, it didn't feel like SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the Attitude Era, so in the Attitude Era, we kind of knew the whole big cards like a month in advance. This whole 2 week, and we announcing matches. I'm like, okay, that money different. Y'all not even trying to sell these fights like that.
I think I felt good about it. Not only that, I kind of wonder now what's gonna happen with SmackDown, because we said SmackDown was not, and I was going crazy at the end of Raw just here a second ago.
They need Roman. That's simple and plain for SmackDown. They need Roman. I know we here to talk about Raw, but SmackDown, yeah, what wasn't it? But this was a much better show, especially better than last week's Raw too. So we had a good start. We had a return. An official match been made. Little swerve here and there. So wherever y'all want to start, we can start.
I'm just
TJ said best episode at least a month. I agree, TJ. They was on a little bit of a little decline there with the entertainment value.
Yeah, I was just tweeting out the live to get everybody aware and in here. But I mean,
oh, we could wait. It's on you. We here.
Yeah, we get we give it like like a couple minutes and then we'll see what it says.
That's cool. The doors to the church are now open.
Are we Jerry, are we live on Instagram? No, right?
No, I'm looking at that right here, but I don't know. It should be.
Good night. We not live on Twitter either.
Yeah, Twitter still pops up with that error.
Oh yeah, I got the premium joint. Good night. All right, well, we live on YouTube, y'all. So we got viewers in there. I want to start with, obviously for me, the highlight of the night, man. CM Punk spoke to his surgeon on Saturday. He is cleared. He is ready to go. August 3rd, Cleveland, Ohio, SummerSlam. The much-awaited grudge match is finally taking place in Cleveland, Ohio. Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with the special guest referee, Seth Rollins. I like this. This got to be the main event. This is since we talking SummerSlam and I'm an Attitude Era guy. To me, what this is in this current day, this is Bret Hart versus The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee.
I agree.
And you see how one chair shot from Shawn Michaels to The Undertaker spewed a whole nother rivalry within that match. And y'all can best believe Seth Rollins, he will make a movie on somebody.
I said it on TikTok, the Attitude Era TikTok. We hadn't had a special guest referee in a minute. I couldn't even tell you the last special guest referee we've had in a wrestling match.
I can't think of one either, but I think this is going to be good because they said Adam Pearce said next week we're going to have Drew and we're going to have Seth Rollins and CM Punk in the ring as CM Punk goes over his rules for the bout, and yet they can't put a single hand on each other. I'm hyped.
Y'all think Seth gonna call this down the middle?
No. No, he's not calling it down the middle at all. I think it's just gonna be on Seth Rollins terms, however he's feeling. He's gonna get some shots in on Drew. He's gonna get some shots in on CM Punk, but I think he might be leaning more towards Drew McIntyre at this current moment. He's been not liking CM Punk. They had that rivalry. They were supposed to do that. And then CM Punk is like, he's who cost them the belt. Drew
I know we do
McIntyre's
our
competitor.
predictions. I think this is gonna be one of the tough ones to predict. And it's the
Mm.
winners. It's just gonna be, yeah. It could go
I
either
think-
way.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, man, who's behind it? Who's behind this with the CEO? Triple H, man. I'm telling you how it's gonna go. It's gonna go like Bret Hart versus Undertaker with Shawn Michaels. It's gonna be some type of chair shot, some type of hit that's meant for CM Punk that's gonna wind up happening to Drew, and he's gonna have to call CM Punk for the W, even though he doesn't want to.
Mm.
Let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this one time. CM Punk was supposed to take on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40, right? We all know that. Cool.
He did.
But it didn't happen for injuries.
What do you
So
mean?
you don't think, huh?
You said Seth Rollins was supposed to take on Drew McIntyre.
No, CM Punk. Remember WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah,
was,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get it because of injuries and all that.
Yeah.
And then we got what we got. So you don't think you could go the opposite where CM Punk, it's like Drew gets screwed? Because Drew don't really have a beef with Seth Rollins. Because remember, at the end of Mania, he told him defend that belt well as he walked off to the locker room. He didn't really have a beef with him. He got beat. And then he got, he
but
lost
that's
that
what.
belt.
But that's what I'm saying. If Seth has a dog in the race, it's Drew. But I believe he's gonna wind up costing Drew the match by accident when that chair shot or whatever happens is supposed to go to Punk, but actually accidentally Drew takes the fall, and then Punk will pin him, and Seth will have no choice but to hit the 1, 2, 3. Because at the end of the day, Seth is still a face. You know what I mean? Just like Shawn Michaels, he didn't want to count for Bret. Yeah, but he did after the chair shot.
With spit on his face.
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling you. It's going to be something. Triple H is brewing the pot, and you got to think about rewriting history. History gets rewritten because it's a lot of people that don't even know that match. They don't know that happened. So seeing that play out with these guys will be their first time seeing it. But I think it's going to be a great match, though.
Yeah.
We got Chris Leclerc talking about Dominic Mysterio. We're going to get into that too, but
shout out to everybody tuning in on Instagram right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace. We live on the YouTube and the Instagram. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the IG right now. Okay, I see it.
Come on in, y'all. Welcome to the Attitude Era podcast. It's gonna be interesting. I said it's starting to feel like SummerSlam, and it needed to feel like SummerSlam. The show started with Gunther doubling down on what he said last week.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Triple H shook the internet last week, and Gunther, with his promo, and people was comparing it, the Gunther Damian Priest promo to the Booker T Triple H promo, and some things just don't age well, and that was one of those things that did not age well. But Gunther came in, and I meant what I said. I called him Gunther Lamar because he said everybody here is bones.
Oh man.
Good night.
I like where Gunther's going with this, and yet don't like where Gunther's going with this, because I feel like this Damian Priest thing got real spicy out of nowhere real quick. Like
the thing about it is Gunther's in-ring work has been so good, he didn't need this. People was looking forward to see whatever he was doing next anyway. He didn't need this.
But define that, right? Because now he's going for a world title where he's going to be the guy to carry the company. And we need people to either hate you, because in ring, you're right. You said it. Gunther's good. You can put the house on Gunther. But as far as carrying a company, we need a guy we could put the money behind, and we need your fans to either really hate you because you're a heel or really love you. And
but I think Gunther's fallen. I'm not gonna say he's the same as, but he's fallen into that tweener space, that Stone Cold space, that space where people not supposed to like you, but they like you space. Because he's a heel, but he gets cheered because of his in-ring work. So them trying to turn him more heel with promos, I just think kind of takes away from it. But people tuning into it, and they definitely shook the internet. and it's gonna be a good match. And after he doubled down, Priest stormed out. They put hands on each other and they got busy. That's how they started the show.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all though. Just think about this SummerSlam. This SummerSlam sound like a movie. You got Damian Priest versus Gunther. You got Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. You got LA Knight versus Logan Paul. You got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. And you got Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. Miss Toya, what's going on, Miss Toya? Good evening. Right? Am I missing a match?
I think you are.
I thought it was only 5.
Nah, it should be 6. Liv and Nia Jax. No, I said Liv and Nia Jax. Bailey and Nia Jax. Did you say that one?
No.
Okay.
So there isn't Cody's not on SummerSlam?
Oh, and Cody and Solo.
Cody versus Solo. So then it is no.
Okay.
It is no Nia Jax and
No, it is.
Yeah.
They said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so maybe it's no Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn because that ain't enough.
It has to be because that would be only 2 SmackDown matches.
No, it's definitely Solo and Cody.
Yeah.
Bailey and Nia.
That's it.
No, and then LA Knight and
Logan.
Logan.
And so it's what 3 and 3, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Rhea and Liv 1, Drew and Gunther 2, and
CM Punk.
No, it's Damian and Gunther. I'm sorry, and Drew and CM Punk 3-3 right now. So it looked like Braun Breaker and Sammy might not be on it because that wasn't announced.
Definitely on SummerSlam.
They announced it.
Yeah, they announced it.
Yeah, because the match tonight was for the number 1 contender.
Yeah, so then I wasn't bugging. So then the 7 joints. That's
7. Yeah.
Yeah, SummerSlam is stacked.
There might be an 8th because they keep talking about these tag titles with the women.
Nah, 8 joints, bro.
Because the women's tag titles haven't been defended since old girl won them at the Clash at the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going into this thing. It's almost like a little bit too late where you got I'm not going to call them what that meme called them, but you got that 3-headed women's group where it's Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler. And then on the other side, from the SmackDown side, you got Jade and Bianca.
What
so they haven't really
called them.
I ain't gonna say it.
I
ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever they're doing with Cadence, Carter, and Katana Chance, they just need to stop. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't know what's worse, they gimmick or they ring gear. And you know, we big on the women and the women athletes and performers, but
facts.
I can't see them every week. I'm seeing them every week. I don't know what they are, what they do. I know they're trying to get Lyra over. Zelina got a win tonight, which was cool.
Good.
But it's more women in that locker room, and we shouldn't be seeing the same 3 to 4 women every week.
Hey, you know what? And this goes back to what I say. I know no one wants to talk about it. Where's your mid?
I'm about to say the word mid-title come out your mouth. I'm getting off this call.
Where's the other belt though? Where, you know what I'm saying? Because again, Zelina just fought Liv for that world title. She's not in the mix.
And see, Liv is wrestling Rhea because Rhea just come back. But think about the Liv Morgan story. Liv Morgan has been tied to Dominic and Judgment Day, not defending her title.
Yeah,
really.
Dominic Eva is gonna. Remember what I said. CM Punk winds up winning after Seth does some wacky shit. Dominic is gonna cost Rhea that title.
I've been saying that.
Dominic is gonna cost Rhea that title.
Let me put this on the thing.
Cody and Solo is gonna end in no contest. Jacob Fatu is gonna come through and do some nut ass shit, or Roman Reigns is coming.
Damn, you think it's gonna go like that?
I don't know if they bring Roman back at SummerSlam.
Oh yes, for sure. Roman's coming back before SummerSlam.
Next week?
Yeah, he's coming back next week or this week. And he's
Let me call. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him.
He's definitely stopping Solo from getting that title.
That has to happen.
Yeah,
that has to happen.
Gunther's taking that belt off of Damian.
Does Braun win? Does Braun win?
Braun wins at SummerSlam. I'm going 7-0.
Ooh.
I'm going 7-0. Barely wins too.
Good night.
Good night.
Then
Look, so what I said.
Talking big over there. We're gonna drop our predictions, but
Cody keeps the belt.
I think he already predicted.
Yeah, I think he already predicted.
Cody keeps the belt.
You are so sure about this a week with a whole nother week left for SummerSlam. Yeah. You doubling down on this.
Mm-hmm. Doubling down.
Confidence.
Doubling down.
Very confident.
If Braun doesn't beat Sammy, Psycho Sid is gonna go crazy. And if you haven't seen our interview with Psycho Sid, that's actually taking over the web right now.
It's on 8. It's on 8, gentlemen.
Psycho Sid's gonna lose his mind if
the real
Braun
question is
win.
sometime tomorrow, I believe we're gonna be at a 10-pack.
If you don't know why I said that, Psycho Sid in the interview right here on Attitude Era Podcast said WWE should not be pushing Sami Zayn. He shouldn't beat Brian Breaker. He also said some other stuff that snatched headlines. No DQ's talking about it. The Wrestling Purists talking about it. WrestleMania's talking about it. Know what they're talking about? Our interview with Psycho Sid right here on Attitude Era Podcast. So if you have not seen that interview, which just dropped Sunday, check it. When you finish watching this, check it out. But yeah, it's safe to say Brian should win. He should. But
I feel the same way because a couple things about that. One, the Canadian hobo looked great. He had his win. You know, he took the belt off Gunther. Okay, cool. But if you do this to Braun, it's like Braun is one of the guys who beat Gunther, right? Ilya Dragunov is now going to get smushed. And you have been spending a lot of time with those 3 superstars on Raw, right? After Sami Zayn left the bloodline, he was kind of like there, you know what I'm saying? But he needs the bloodline to kind of pop back up. He's got Braun. He's popping up. But guess what he did tonight? A tag match with who? Jey Uso.
Yeah, they slowly writing him back into the bloodline story.
Yeah. And
I think that's what tonight was, to tag him back with Jey. And then
they got to win. They got to win over the tag team champs. They ain't just put together a team. They got together. They beat the tag team champions, which is wild when you think about it, because you got Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and on the outside of the ring, you got Dom helping them. And you still lost.
Speaking of Dom made Liv cry tonight, man. I ain't like that.
Nah, man. Let's call it
a turkey, man.
Man, let me put this on the screen. Dom is not. Let me put that on the screen right there, man. That's the face of a man who don't want to be there when someone got that dragon breath and you don't want to say nothing.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? He did make Liv cry. You know what I'm saying? He made sure to cry. However, he going with Liv. Remember what she told him originally? Why you calling her mommy when I could be calling you daddy?
We're gonna see. I wasn't too sold on the SummerSlam card as of a week ago, and I'm that's just because things was just moving kind of slow, kind of cold. But once DNA breaks it down, I'm a little more excited. And Bo Dallas, hard left real quick because I know DNA might be tapping out early. Bo Dallas. What did you think about? Let's start with you, HP. We got our first in-ring action tonight from Uncle Howdy, and we saw Sister Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do we think about the YS6 right now?
I think they're in a good little place, and this is why I say that. If you mesh teams with the Creed Brothers and Alpha Academy, that's the same amount of members to go against the Wyatts. If you don't want to do that, you have Chad getting beat to sleep from Howdy, and that's always going to push them up too. And so I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that we saw Bo do something, and he looks very Brayish. He actually looks like a fitter version from the last time we saw Bray. He looked,
that was kind of spooky because he had the mask, looked like dreadlocks, and doing that Sister Abigail, you kind of just saw a silhouette. It just looked a little. Yeah, it was a little kind of surreal there.
I had put on my Uncle Howdy's mask when
Joker, what up, Joker? What up?
Joker said he got the mask at the crib, mask on.
Yeah, I feel like I think they adding, like I said, we got two storylines simultaneously happening. One with the bloodline that's at a faster pace because they was already, going. And then you got this storyline that I feel like comes full circle around Survivor Series War Games. Because that's when
TJ, they got to
see
do something.
That's when
I
you're
mean,
gonna see
cut
them
you
all
off.
in that. That's when you're gonna see them all in action. So, I'm liking the cook up. I like storylines. I like build ups. I think that's, something that's brewing. For the people that's on IG and the ones that's on YouTube, what are y'all SummerSlam predictions? Who y'all got winning? You know what I mean? Let's go to the chat, man. This is what this world was about. It was about lining up SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. Let's start there. Predictions, y'all. Who y'all got and why?
I think CM Punk needs a win. This not our official prediction, is it?
No. Not
Okay. Because I'm gonna need. I ain't like DNA. I ain't so sure. I can't bet the house on it. But I think CM Punk needs a win, and I think he gets it. Probably not clean, which is gonna lead to him beefing with Seth Rollins. But yeah, I think CM Punk gets the win.
Okay.
I gotta see what happens.
He has to win. Like, he has to win. If CM Punk doesn't win, it's you gotta do something with him.
Instagram. Who y'all feel like is winning the SummerSlam predictions? We said Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. What we doing? Good night.
Who you got, HP?
I think that I really want to see the ref thing next week with Seth Rollins to get more of a feel, but I'm gonna go with Drew, to be honest. And I think Drew, because CM Punk can take an L, and I think you have more time with Drew, where Survivor Series you're gonna get something out of these guys again, right? And I think Drew takes the first win. CM Punk looks good. He takes his bracelet back, but Drew's gonna get that win. It's gonna be like, would you rather lose pretty
or win ugly?
Or win ugly? Yeah, I was about to mess that all the way up. But and I think Drew's gonna win ugly. I think he's gonna win ugly, and it's gonna be because of Seth Rollins, and then now
the only thing we agree on is Seth Rollins is interfering in his match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just don't see. I just want to see how it's gonna happen. Is it gonna be a chair shot? Is it gonna be the spit in the face? I want my pound of flesh. You know what I mean? Like, all right, bro. Seth Rollins is no joke, bro. Yo, we're gonna have to read some of these out. I agree. CM Punk, MA, RD, you know what I'm saying? Marty, I guess you could just say it. Like, I can't read that fast. You know what I'm saying? My eyes is a little older than what I thought. But you know what I'm saying? Marty on Instagram talking about I agree, CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that. Oh man, I don't even want to say that because I can see CM Punk winning too.
That's what I said. This is the tough one.
This might be a true 50-50, and they're going to set it up to, before we get to, what's after SummerSlam? There's a September pay-per-view, then we got Bad Blood, then we get War Games.
Whatever this is it's gonna grow legs after SummerSlam. So
Oh yeah. The question is, will Mr. Fragility still be 100% to go? Because I feel like you're gonna have to give him a little time off, a lot of promo work, because that's where he excels. And maybe Drew and Seth get a chance to get it in.
Joker said his prediction is Drew, Bryan, LA Knight, Cody, Nia, Liv Morgan.
I would hope to God Nia Jax wins. And it ain't because I got nothing against Bayley, but Nia Jax, we need a good heel. Like, Bayley she's good. She can win it back. But Nia, you set the tone for like having like a dominant woman now. Because Bayley's a good wrestler, but she's not dominant. Nia Jax goes to Royal Rumbles and eliminates 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women.
I think it would be good for both King and Queen of the Ring to win. so they can establish that winning the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring means something. There's a potential to where you can win. Even if one of them wins, it gives the illusion that this is important. So next year when the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments happen, people gonna say, yo, Gunther, his first title was because of the King of the Ring, or Naya's reign was because of the Queen of the Ring. So it'll give validity to the tournament if both of them win. But even one, it gives validity. But two is like a Twix, baby, left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got LA. This might be a night where we see a lot of title changes. Because all but one match is for the title, right? 2.
Nah, I think almost every one of them, with the exception of Drew, CM Punk with Seth Rollins. There's no title there. You got the world title, both world titles, both men, women's world titles. That's 4.
Both,
My fingers are all fucked up, man. Let me
US and Intercontinental.
Yeah.
So like every title except for the men's tags. We might see some title changes happening. So
hold on. Now that you just said that, we just saw the tag team champs get beat tonight from Raw. SmackDown's got a tag team like brawl thing.
What up?
You know what I'm saying? To determine new number 1 contenders. Are they? And then on the women's side have one tag for both shows. So out of those 3 tag team championships, are any of them going to go on SummerSlam?
No,
I think the card is set.
What was so funny?
Because it's like, damn, are we shitting on the tag? I mean, not us, because I want to see him. But
no, I'm just saying the card is already stacked. You got everything you need, and it's a big mega event. They're not going to add unnecessary things to it. Like I said, what do we name? We named 7 matches.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They not. Maybe next year I believe it'll be 12 matches for SummerSlam because it's going to be 2 days. But there's still 1 day SummerSlam. So
that's brutal.
I say no. But yeah, fellas, I'm gonna tap out. I know y'all gonna keep it going, cooking up. Everybody that's in the live, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the notification button.
And if you want Instagram, hop on
like it, comment. YouTube. Yeah, and make sure y'all go check out our Sid Vicious interview that is going crazy right now on all platforms. Go check it out right now, y'all. It is going ballistic. So y'all want to go tap into that. Sign up for the Patreon. Jerry, Archie. They're going to continue to bless y'all with the recap. Dive into some more stuff. I'll be popping in tomorrow, NXT. Good night.
Good night. I almost forgot about. So it's funny he said that because NXT is tomorrow, and our girl Machine.
Dang, my girl.
Oh damn. Let me go take this cucumber water drink then.
Yeah, DNA had to dip. It's a busy man, so. But yeah, Instagrammers, YouTubers. This way it gets a little crazy now. Because when it's me and HP, we never know where this thing going. We just throwing our hands up in the car and we take it where it go. But
wherever it goes.
It was a good show tonight. It's starting to feel like SummerSlam. It's never really SummerSlam without Brock Lesnar. We didn't get the Brock Lesnar pop up yet. I don't think we'll get it. DNA said he think we're gonna get the Roman Reigns pop up. I don't think we get that either. I don't know. I know it's happening soon because Rhea came back, and you can't bring Rhea back after you bring Roman because that would just completely bury whatever Rhea had going on.
I mean, we've seen people get buried before. Randy Orton got buried under CM Punk in the same night. So
that was so bad because Randy deserved better.
I agree with you. That's why I can't wait.
That's the start of the Seth Rollins CM Punk beef because Seth Rollins went crazy that night.
Yes, he did. And they set that thing up for Mania. It didn't work. Devon Baxter. Yes, happy birthday to Shawn Michaels. It is his birthday, July 22nd. I want to say it's 1965, but please don't quote me on his number.
I think
They're angling.
I know you sexy.
The angle in Punk
the
versus Drew with
looks
Seth as the ref.
that
Line
drive
taking
the
Brett
girl.
HBK
Wow.
from SummerSlam 97. Very correct. Seth fused with Punk going into Mania, and he got Drew the remainder of the year. I like to see how that's going to play out. Because you're right, and we were just kind of saying that same type of deal. That Punk kind of, and kind of funny. Punk cost Drew Clash of the Champions. Clash at the Castle. I keep saying champions with a ref shirt on. So now he's got a special ref. So I don't be surprised if CM Punk's going back and putting that ref shirt on to do something like be the ref for Drew and all this, and then he goes to a triple threat, and then
again, like I said a week or so ago, I was not excited about SummerSlam because it didn't feel like SummerSlam.
It didn't feel like it.
It's starting to heat up, and the card. I'm glad Brian Breaker's on this card. Like I said, people feel how you feel about Nia Jax. She gets eyes on the screen. I'm glad Rhea Ripley's back. Her first match back is SummerSlam. I don't know if she gets the title back, but I think SummerSlam's going to be. Rhea doesn't get the title back at SummerSlam. Dom is the reason why. Cody beats Solo or Solo gets DQ'd. Those are like the two things I'm certain of for SummerSlam right now. The rest, I don't know.
I definitely feel 100%.
Brian Breaker is winning that title at SummerSlam.
I definitely feel 100%. Solo ain't walking out with no title.
If Solo Sikoa is your champion, the internet's gonna go crazy.
Kobe, it's funny you asked this question, right? Clash at the Castle started with the WWE Undisputed title. That's how the event started, with AJ Styles in a no holds barred whatever match.
Cody Rhodes.
So I really couldn't tell you. I think the one match where I think it could be is Seth Rollins with Drew with CM Punk. They have been building that. That technically, like you just said, that almost started back at War Games last year.
It's in Ohio, right?
Yeah. I mean, but that's the only match with no belt on the line.
Well, I was thinking, did anybody have home field advantage other than Logan Paul?
You better take the title off. I can't stand. I mean, that's not true because I like his matches. His matches are good. They're very better than a guy that's not even had 20 matches. But he has destroyed that U.S. title. He has destroyed. This is what makes SmackDown boring. The show ended Raw tonight with CM Punk, with Braun Breaker laughing at just breaking the Canadian hobo in half. Right, boom, in the ring. Jey Uso like damn.
Braun Breaker is a menace.
He's a menace.
He's unhinged. He's uncontrollable. He's very Brock Lesnar-ish.
Yeah, I think that gets him in problems down the road because he's very small compared to a lot of those guys. So if they write it as he's a monster with freakish athletic ability, like they've been doing and displaying, they'll be fine because he is much more athletic than a lot of their big beasts, the Braun Strowman. So the athleticism is what's going to get him. But they're building him. He's struggling to win the IC belt.
Devon got like he's comment down there. Is Jimmy Uso back to ring shape, or is he still hurt? What is Jimmy Uso's injury?
I don't want to say that because I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't know.
It might be an ankle injury because I don't see how they wrestle in Air Force Ones.
Bro, a lot of them have changed over and don't wrestle in typical standard boots no more. You could at least put on the black Air Force Ones.
Air Force Ones? Oh, I forgot. Y'all Northerners call them Uptowns. But yeah, I don't know what Jimmy's injury really is.
His head hurt. I mean, you gave us that match at WrestleMania, and you know what I'm saying.
So see, I don't know if Solo and Cody isn't that big of a match to headline to me. Yes, it's your biggest title. It's the title with the most weight in the company. But again, you said it opened the last at Clash at the Castle.
They opened it. And I also think with you saying that too, I mean, I think Damian and Gunther have more. That's not true. That's not true. I've watched the Bloodline
CM
run
Punk and Drew
roughshod.
McIntyre is probably the biggest match on this card. Now that you add Seth Rollins to it.
Yes. 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 I 100% stand by that. The next one probably is Liv and Rhea, but again, I don't. I
You
like
probably
it.
open with a woman's match mathematically, because that gives you enough matches in between to space it out.
There's only 2 and they're both world titles.
That's what I'm saying. One in the beginning, one in the middle.
Nah, you should open up with the guy who ain't been here, who got 267 days as champ and only 2 title defenses. And this
he might
hate.
open up. He is an Ohio boy. Say he's from Puerto Rico. I don't know, but I know it's an Ohio thing there. So it could be just to get the hometown pop on him. But I don't know if people are cheering or booing Logan Paul these days.
Well, he got to come to the show so we can find out. I mean, he did the little contract signing. I don't know. I feel like this every time I see comments on Twitter, whether it's, I'm not going to put out no other podcasts and stuff like that, but you go check out whatever you want to check out, read the comments, take a little poll, and see what you see. Most people want that belt off him. And again, I've been constantly talking about mid-tier titles because it gives, look what Braun's doing with the show. He's closing show. You're building a star because there's a title to hold, and boom, because you want to get it to that point where you have him to have eventually, whether it's this year, next year, the year after, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew fame, where there's no title there. But they might close the show because you don't need a title. We're past that. That's the same thing Hulk Hogan did to the Ultimate Warrior. Warrior won that title, and what happened to him? They put him in feuds with people, but Hogan was closing the show. It felt like when Hogan's match was over, the card ended, or should have ended, and the Warrior couldn't close the show. So we don't want to see that. But that's what we LA Knight holding hostage. And what happened? I'm out. Rhea Ripley was stripped of a title because she could not defend it within a certain time frame. So why are we not pulling the flag on LA Knight?
I thought they would have done that months ago with LA Knight because LA Knight was just so hot. Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hey, I don't think that gets you in office, Playboy. 3 hours is tough.
It might get you in the front office of WWE. Over on Instagram. I'm not saying that shit. I almost started to, but Mr. Introvert, you know what I'm saying? However you look is on you though, but which is why they need to get it off Logan Paul talking about the mid-tier titles. Mid-tier titles bridge the gap from the mid-tier to the top 100%. That's what they were used for coming up. In the last several years, they kind of lost sight of that, but it could be found again. We just watched Gunther do it. So, yeah.
You gotta book the mid-tier titles just as good as you book the top-tier titles because Sami Zayn hasn't done to that title what Gunther did to it.
He couldn't. That's not fair, though. That's not fair. Because you gave you didn't give him, but WWE gave him 666 days. So we look at Gunther's first 90 and Sammy's first 90. First of all, Sammy's is technically better because he beat the guy who had 600.
But Sammy is supposed to be the darling. He was the underdog, and people wanted him to beat Roman and all this other stuff. And he was the
Oh yeah. You talking about that bloodline?
Yeah, they were rooting. Yeah. Sammy should have been a made man walking into that title, but
he was.
You had
no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
You had a couple of matches that Gunther and other people put on clinics. Chad Gable was my guy to do it, but he didn't. So
I think it's better that way because you kept us guessing. I think we all picked Gunther to win. We were wrong. I think they did Sammy just okay. They robbed Peter to pay Paul. They had Sami Zayn to keep that momentum, beat Braun Breaker, which shouldn't have happened, but it did, and it made Sami Zayn like where he can cut that promo tonight where he was like, yeah, you better don't make that same mistake you made last time.
Here's the question,
coming.
though. Do you believe him?
Who?
Sami
Bo
Zayn.
Dallas?
Do you believe Sami Zayn and his promos? You gotta think about it.
Not on Braun Breaker.
You believed Gunther, though. The ring general, Imperium's presence alone was different.
Yes. But but it's not a fair comparison. Gunther had 2 years to do that. And no one believed Gunther in the beginning. Remember, Gunther used to be out of shape. I'm not trying to body shame and all that. What I'm saying though is he didn't look like he had great ring work back then though. But as he got in better and better shape, you know what I'm saying?
I don't remember a time in his career people didn't like him though. That's the point I'm saying.
Bro, people didn't even know who he was at one point. Why he got the time? Let's go back to those comments 2 years ago. Like, okay,
outside
he got
of the WWE, there's a whole world of wrestling that loved Walter before he was Gunther.
Yeah, but
that's how he got to be Gunther.
That world of wrestling does not carry the same. It carries the same weight as NXT guys. This is why NXT guys have a hard time coming to the main roster. Some of them can just come in and make immediate impact, like Braun Breaker, and some of them can't. It's like Gunther didn't look the part, bro. When he first got there, he did not look the part. Yeah, he had great ring work. But the thing about WWE will, and we had this conversation. WWE, if you can't promo super good and look the part, boom. And I think Gunther's promos were there. I just think he needed to. What he is now, Gunther looks and talks like he's gonna beat the snot out of whomever comes out that dressing room.
And I believe he say he needed a BBL.
A little bit, and he did it himself. Hard work paid off. And now he is a made, like you said, he was a made man. Now he's a hunt, like he is made. Even if he loses this, he can come back in War Games and probably take the title off whomever. Cody, even. It don't matter.
I'm really curious about who does beat Cody. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. The Cody reign is a little chilly. A little chilly.
I want to disagree with you. I just can't because it's, bro. You told me I'm sitting there trying to find clips from that last SmackDown recap, and you was like, "Look at this trending," because you said it was boring, and then it was trending, and I was like, "Damn, like that's on your champion. That is on your champion at the end of the day because when Raw is boring,
it's 1,000% on your champion when he opens the show."
And closes.
Because those trends start when the show opened, and that's what people are talking about.
And here's what I like with Raw. Even though Raw is not Raw is the premier show. It's always been. But when you look at the ratings, it has not been for years, right? It feels like it is again. And they don't have Cody Rhodes and Roman.
Was Roman Reigns that big of a part of SmackDown?
Yes. Because before Roman, I'll pull numbers.
Don't.
Raw was always the premier show. Raw was the premier show. And it was, that's why it's called the flagship show. It started before SmackDown. It was what all their effort went to. When most people talk about their TV deals, they're looking at Raw.
No, the past few years it's been SmackDown. Those TV deals
are
on SmackDown. So
hence why behind the scenes, low key, Roman didn't want to leave, and then on screen it was like Paul made up that thing about Roman not going into the draft. He wanted to stay on SmackDown, but that thing I put in the chat, Netflix has asked for him or Cody because Netflix 80% every time you buy a TV or a phone, what is on there? Netflix.
You starting a wrestling company tomorrow. Who you calling first?
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. I'll block. I wouldn't say that. I'm going too far. Cody Rhodes. I've seen the merch numbers. Cody Rhodes sells merch. I think where there's a big.
When do you call Cody Rhodes? You call Roman first. You build
after Roman has declined my call. That's when I call him because Cody don't get hot without Roman. He gets good. He gets warm. He gets to the top tier, but he's a guy that could get beat.
So Cody Rhodes came back to the WWE. How he returned, and he's not attached to the bloodline. Is Cody Rhodes even in title contention?
Yeah, he's where AJ Styles was. Yeah. He goes up, he loses, he goes back down to the bottom of the barrel. Now he'll be somewhere where Braun Strowman is. They'll team him up with a tag team guy until they need him to come out the woodshed again, if they need him to come out the woodshed again. That's what they would do to him. Because AJ Styles is AJ Styles, you love to bring up New Japan. We know AJ Styles could go. He put on the best matches with Cody.
He just had a match, which was interesting. He just had a match a few weeks ago outside of the WWE in Japan.
Yes,
I've never thought I would see the day where WWE is having so much crossover work. They're crossing over with New Japan. They're crossing over with TNA. It's a lot of crossovers. When under the Vince era, Vince wouldn't even let you mention other companies because he didn't want people to know it was other wrestling options. Now you have other champions wrestling. You're doing trades, you're doing swaps, you're letting people wrestle outside in other countries. It's interesting that that's happening, and the reasons I don't know. The payoff I don't know, but it's just very interesting.
You know what I think the payoff is, and this is just a hunch, because one, you're going to Netflix, right? And Netflix is huge. Two, there's no other company big. There's no other. There's no pause. There's no other company bigger than the WWE, right?
That's what she said too.
Potentially, WWE could buy these superstars when their contracts are up.
I think Joe Hendry, I think Jordan Grace, I think the Rascals who were already there, I think anybody else that's crossing over, these are their WWE auditions. Jordan Grace looked great in that Royal Rumble. She looked great in that WWE ring. She looked great in front of that large crowd under those bright lights. Then she crossed over to TNA promotion. Joe Hendry is the most over man in NXT, and he's not on the NXT roster. These are auditions that are happening in front of our face, so when they pop up, it won't feel like a surprise.
You know what else I think too? Because they just moved SummerSlam to 2 nights, and a couple years back they moved WrestleMania to 2 nights. If they get a little stale, you know what they could do? They could break out. I'm sorry, guys, this is my comic book, you know what I'm saying? But that AVX, if you don't know, that's Avengers vs. X-Men. Or, as we saw in wrestling back in the Attitude Era, NWO Invasion angle. But this time, TNA can supply all top stars to try to overtake a portion of WWE.
I hope it's top stars and not old WWE stars, because it's two big names there, and one just won the TNA championship. His name is Nick Neiman, aka Dolph Ziggler. He's the TNA champ. And you know, from day one, I've been saying we will see Matt and Jeff Hardy back in WWE through this TNA crossover. Some kind of way that's happening.
But to add to your thing, it wouldn't be bad if you had the guys, some of the guys, not all of them, because like you said, I don't want to see WWE versus old WWE. That would just be dumb. But if some of the older guys, like the Hardys per se, did lead the charge against WWE per se, because Moose is on record, I want to say through Jordan Grace in an interview where he wanted to go to WWE as well, to the NXT, and do some things. And he in that article and the comments to that article, everyone's talking about Obafemi versus Moose, this off the charts. So I think maybe WrestleMania, maybe a SummerSlam, maybe a War Games. You bring up their best.
I'm looking at the
not this year.
I'm looking at the TNA roster. You have immediately points out AJ Francis, who used to be Top Dollar. You have Ash by Elegance, who's Dana Brooke. Brian Myers, who was forget his name in WWE. I forget, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Eric Young, who was with Sanity in NXT. Gail Kim, back in the day, OG. It's a lot of, and I don't want that to be the thing. So,
but here's the thing.
Hardy's on here. Matt Hardy's on here. Joe Hendry's on here.
You got those guys who are older WWE stars, but it doesn't matter if they never fought current WWE stars.
Josh
right?
Matthew,
Because
Kushida.
if we get Gail Kim, like we got Roxanne versus. So here's another thing too.
Know who I would like to see though? Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona come back. That'd be cool.
But see, those are the guys that can lead charge. You know what I'm saying? But here's the
Mustafa
problem.
Ali, he was just there.
He was just there.
Rhino.
But it worked. It works. I just think oh, hold on. But see, Nick Nemeth winning the world title messed my dream up. My dream, and I ain't gonna hold you, my dream, and this goes back to that stat padding. And I didn't even know I had this dream until I saw it mentioned by his man himself, Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry was asked a question at the press conference right before Slammiversary this past weekend or whatever. And he said when he takes the title, he would love to call out John Cena. Now, here's what I was talking about, that stat padding, right? I'll take a guy like Jerry the King Lawler, right? Jerry the King Lawler has over like 100 world title championships to him, but never once in all the years he commentated for WWE did they mention him as a world champion. They didn't say he's a world champion, never, not once. But they did this for Ric Flair to say he's 16 times. Now, my issue with that, well, he was down in the territory with Memphis, so it's different. No, because you look at like half of Ric Flair's championships, it's from the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, not World Championship Wrestling, National Wrestling Alliance, right? So it's about who you know.
Randy, I seen that. Who are they talking about in the chat?
I think they were talking about some of the guys from the TNA.
Cody. She must be talking about Cody.
Cody, or even the guys who were naming from the TNA. I think too.
There's a lot of former WWE, not too recent, not too far removed, people on that roster. So,
but here's where I was going with this, right? If and they could do it still with Nick Nemeth, I just would have rather had it been Joe Hendry, because Joe Hendry, you say his name and it appears, and John Cena is you can't see me, so it kind of like works with the taglines, right?
And you know what? That's another thing we've not mentioned yet. The John Cena farewell tour is going to be involved in some of this stuff we're talking on too.
Hold on to that note, right? That's where I was going with this. I would have loved to see that at WrestleMania because everyone keeps talking about Randy Orton being a final opponent. But if they can't put a title on Randy for John Cena to take 17, because John Cena's not stat padded. All his titles come from WWE. Here's my point. Fantasy booking. It would have been Joe Hendry, maybe Nick Nemeth now, but Joe Hendry for the TNA World title to go against John Cena. John Cena wins it. That's his 17th world title. Same thing Flair did.
Title?
Yeah, but it's a world title. People counted Flair's. They counted 8 national wrestling championships as world titles, and then people go get him and Flair. Bro, that's cap. That's cap. I'm not doing this no more. It makes me upset.
Breathe.
I appreciate it. Let me get my cucumber.
All those tuning in for the first time, this is normal. This is what HPD gets upset. You gotta go to the cup. He'll be all right. In about 2 minutes. He'll be back. And it's got the apple cider vinegar when they had Mike's special secret stuff. That's what he got. I've been watching The Boys, so he might have a little Compound V up in there. I don't know.
If John Cena wins number 17 by winning the TNA World title, right? 16 WWE.
I think that puts an asterisk on it, so people.
Don't put no asterisk on Ric Flair. Oh, come on, bro. The national world, like, come on, bro. Come on. You can't do that to my boy. They got that would also help him be the GOAT.
So what if he won an NXT title? Would it be the same thing?
I wish you could go on my notes right here, right? Why is NXT titles not counted as world titles if people like I forgot my point. People won national titles and they call them world titles in the WWE. Ric Flair is my guy. I'm gonna keep picking on Ric Flair because it's stat padding. Seth Rollins should be counted for world titles because he won the team, but they don't call it a world title. That's a thing too. It's not even called. It's called the NXT title. So you're the company champ. I use Jerry the King Lawler because people don't. Man, what was The Rock's name before? It was like Flex something, right? His name was Flex something when he was in when he was going through the territories. He fights Jerry the King Lawler for Jerry the King Lawler's world title that he says, and that's my thing. So Ric Flair calling his world titles and getting all credit when he only wins the world title in WWE, I think twice. And that was in like the 91 Royal Rumble, 92 Royal Rumble, 93. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. It's one of them 3 years when the world title was up there. And then he had it again. He defended it against Macho Man at WrestleMania 8. But we gave this man 16 titles from another company that got bought by a company that got bought by the company. Like WWE bought WCW and WCW had taken NWA. And we're going to take them man, hell no, bro.
So
and
what is the actual moniker that's put to Ric Flair? He's the most what? Most
decorated. Well, they say decorated and all that, but they say the most world titles. And that's why it's like,
because R-Truth got like 68 title reigns.
Who?
R-Truth.
Oh shit. But see, that's the thing.
Okay, I might have a couple 24/7 title reigns under my belt. Who knows? But that thing was.
I gotta go through these comments. I also need that WWE Championship on the Rock one more time. It looks like I don't know about that, Miss Awesome Saucy. He's got a People Championship that I feel like should be recognized, and that should be a title that goes between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and he fights a number one contender on every show. Like he's not listed to one title. They could do something with it because if they want to.
That's Rock ain't got that many matches in him.
That's why someone needs to take it off him. But that was awarded to him through the family and estate of Muhammad Ali at the Hall of Fame.
Man, Muhammad Ali don't know that happened. It don't count.
You're right. I ain't even gonna laugh, but I did. But I also gonna say
Kavana.
I also wanted Flex Kavana. Thank you, Miss Awesome Saucy talking spicy. Had the name for the
Flex Kavana. That sounds like ingredient in shampoo.
Thank God they changed that shit. Because Flex Kavana works, but like
that's almost as bad as Terrorizing and Sexton Hardcastle.
Yo, chill out, bro.
Edge ain't too far, but Sexton Hardcastle?
Yo. Yeah, I'm with you. So some Rock.
We got to do a list of worst wrestling names.
I think we should. And Devon, I agree with you. The Rock's belt looks great. I love it.
The Rock look great. Final Boss is.
I don't think that's his final stage either. I think when they go to Netflix, it's going to be something like, oh shit, because now he can say anything he wants.
The Netflix. I think that I hope that the Netflix era is just. That it flows naturally and they don't try to intentionally be vulgar or curse or, use the expletives just because they can. Because too much of that, it'll be a little corny.
And keep in mind, most of WWE merch, not most, but there's a large number, hence why I was talking about those numbers for Cody and his merchandise, get bought by little kids. So I don't know how many parents, if you start pushing the envelope, like I know the Attitude Era, we had a lot. But if I hear F-bombs dropping, I'm not having my 8-year-old watch it like that. Definitely not my 5-year-old who loves Bailey. And if Bailey be like...
start saying Seth in Rollins...
we keep talking about this too, but the women be making like about dirty doms. I don't be taking no dirty D. And they be like, yeah, well, you burnt like... You know what I'm saying?
They're a little saucy. They're a little housewivish.
Yeah, they can get wild. They can get wild. Now, if you want to bring back the bra and panty matches, I ain't gonna knock you.
Here you go.
I'm just saying, I saw the Jiggly Wigglies.
Here you go.
I wish I saw all of them, but I just
told you on that Compound V. Raw on Netflix will be just that. Raw.
But I do want to see it when it feels right. You know what I'm saying? Like Drew McIntyre coming out there like, I'm tired. Like Brett.
You want it raw when it feels right?
I don't think that's worthy of a like that. Yeah, right. Like that's the right answer. I think.
I don't know,
but
I asked the question.
Y'all better help me in the comments. But I do feel like Drew McIntyre, Bret Hart did the promo. I feel like Bret Hart ushered the Attitude Era in when he was like, "That's fucking bullshit." Said it on live TV, but it got edited. And he was like, everybody in the back knows it. Everybody in the goddamn dressing room knows I just got. Brett was on it when that steel cage came
so
down.
bad, man, in WWF.
Matter of fact, it was when he lost to Sid on Monday Night Raw after Shawn lost his smile, and they had that world title match because now we need a new champ. And who screwed Brett? Stone Cold screwed Brett. Sid picks up the win, wins the championship. Everybody in that goddamn dress. My man was going in.
Man, Bret Hart.
Shout out to you, Vern Vado. But I can see Drew because Drew is going down that Bret Hart road. I think
the Netflix era is going to be. I just hope it don't be too much, which is probably going to be.
Do you think they get creepy, scary where they couldn't be doing that before either, like the Wyatt Six?
I think they do. I think they go. Was it TV 14? Like right, just past that. Rating. Yeah, past that. I wonder what the rating is going to be though. That's the thing. And here's something I learned in life, people. Archie Carter gonna drop a jewel amongst all this. Just because you can do something, don't mean you need to do that something.
I agree with you on that one. Miss Awesome Sauce, I have a question. Is that a real t-shirt? Fuck your story? Like the Rock do that shit? Fuck your story? Because I remember he said it. He's like, fuck your story. He said, I think it was on one of them shows.
Rocky, wow. Final Boss is wild.
I see why Brett is bitter still. I would be too.
Brett, I said this before. Bret Hart is the example of sometimes you can love something that doesn't love you back. Bret Hart was a company guy, top talent. He got a bad contract. He got screwed over. He just got done dirt. He got attacked at the Hall of Fame. He got to live with the fact that the company he worked for and loved played a part in his brother's passing. Like Bret Hart got a lot of bad memories from loving something, the sport of wrestling and the WWE. Like it's just a lot that happened to Bret Hart that should not have happened to top talent and top superstars. And it's just wild to think about the things he endured and went through.
It would have sold like crazy. Talking about that shirt, Brett can't catch a break, and I agree with you 100,000%.
Know what I thought would have been a cool T-shirt if when Cody tore his pec, they just put out a white shirt with the torn pec bruise,
all purple right there.
Yeah, with his tattoo. That would have been hard, but they don't pay me for that. I can't make my own T-shirts now. So
that's
Brett can't catch a break, and he stayed. It's like, we've all been in bad relationships. I love her though. I can't let her go. Sometimes you gotta let her go.
I wish he wouldn't have let her go because I think he should have stayed WWE.
You don't think Bret Hart should ever jump ship?
I agree. I don't think he should have ever jumped ship.
Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting take there. So, what the chat looking like? Because we about an hour in. DNA tapped out about 30 minutes ago. There's only 2 men left standing in this battle royal right now.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty good. As far as the recap, there's a lot of other things I want to get off, but they're all outside.
Brett did get done bad in WCW, man. It's just caught a lot of bad breaks.
It's funny.
And then Bill Goldberg happened to him.
Bill Goldberg happened to a lot of people. Bill Goldberg. Do you remember Gene Oakland says he likes to be referred to as Goldberg? Say it to my face, Bill Goldberg.
Bret Hart's a troll too, by the way.
Bret Hart caught some of the illest promos, and it's just like so low key because he wasn't like over the top or whatever, but yet he was over the top. You know what I mean? But I just talk about that Shawn Michaels issue. Shawn Michaels asked for his release from WWE, and Vince
so Bret Hart's injury, right? I always go left. It was a concussion, right?
Yes.
It was that bad to where he couldn't ever wrestle again?
They technically no, because he did wrestle. He wrestled like 7, 8, 9 times after that. but it was enough to be like, hey, bro, you're done. Your condition is gonna worsen. You're not making it better for yourself.
I wonder how many other wrestlers have, like Daniel Bryan, for a perfect example. He could not get cleared in WWE, but he got cleared in AEW. Maybe you don't know this. Maybe somebody in the chat knows this. Do these companies have their own set of medical clearance rules? Or because I know to be a wrestler, you have to have a license. Is there a medical like chart or guide that goes with that license to say yes you can or no you can't? Because he went from WWE not clearing to AEW, letting him jump off shit and get hit with golf carts.
Let him jump off shit. I'm gonna assume it is differences in the medical, what is and what cannot be, or what they will allow and what they
I
won't
think
tolerate.
head should be kind of I think head trauma and injuries should be one thing that they all agree on, though, right?
But remember Miz, remember that show SmackDown Live, the after thing was like a thing, and him and Miz got into it real bad, and Miz
And Dan Bryan said you wrestle too safe. And Miz said you didn't wrestle safe enough. That's why you can't wrestle.
Miz told him, he was like, you love wrestling. He said, I can't get cleared. Miz said, you can go down to the indies, and if you love, and he could have did it. So it's like there has to be some sort of difference in what is and what isn't with the tolerance.
Devon, that is a HP question because he's a Shawn Michaels stan. What is your favorite Shawn Michaels match? You, HP.
Oh, who? What is my favorite Shawn Michaels match? It's hard to say. Shawn Michaels is the king of origination, right? He does a ladder match at WrestleMania. Not the first ladder match, because him and Brett have dark matches with ladder matches, and that's still not the first one. You have Goldust doing ladder matches with Shawn Michaels when he was champion. So it's wild, dark matches. However, it was on the big stage, and that was first. Then you have the Iron Man match, Hell in a Cell, and the Elimination Chamber. All brand new events. Shawn Michaels ushered them all in.
I don't think I have a favorite Shawn Michaels match I could think of right away.
Yeah, it's really hard. Maybe Good Friends, Better Enemies, 1996 April pay-per-view.
I know my least favorite Shawn Michaels match when he stepped on Big Van Vader's head. I ain't like that.
I didn't think that was that bad.
I ain't like it.
I actually thought Vader was gonna win that match the whole time. But I do think Good Friends, Better Enemies was the name of that pay-per-view in your house. April 97.
Shawn Michaels was the in your house logo. He was.
Yeah. I mean,
in your house, man. That's
they gave away a house for the first one, and Shawn Michaels was going for Intercontinental Championship back then. You knew he was about to get a world title run, and yo, you got some wild comments in here. Bro.
Donald Trump keep getting in the chat, man. What's going on?
Yo, he
talking smack.
Wild comments.
Talking smack got wild.
But yeah, the Undertaker ones, those are fire. Ground Zero, I was mentioning that on thing. Ground Zero was the first time they ever fought.
Didn't he wrestle God one time?
No, he wrestled with God as a partner.
All right.
And then it was going against Vince McMahon, and he was like, I beat God. They was wilding. Bro. Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 isn't a bad choice. Shawn Michaels just has such a great body of work. I do think of the Jim Cornette comment about Shawn Michaels it puts an asterisk next to his legacy, because I don't know if people know that Shawn Michaels was getting paid during those 4 years that he was gone. And then after the acquisition in 2001 of WCW.
How does that stain his legacy that he was getting checks?
So I'm going to tell you, WCW was still running rampant at this time. 98, this during the 82 weeks, Shawn had already asked for his release. So instead of just letting him go, because he could have gone over to WCW potentially and done something over there potentially, right? They paid him, kept him under contract. 2001 September, when they buy WCW, they kind of tell Shawn, guess what? We don't need to pay you no more, because there's no competition for you to go to. Guess who pops back up in August? Hey man, my back is good. I can wrestle now. So we lost out. Like, again, I'm not a doctor. However, it's very clear that when the checks drop, I'm not going to say it's very clear. This is one man's telling a story that sounds very believable because of another dark match Shawn did down in Texas. he had a match in Texas in like 2000. So it's like, what the fuck? So I put an asterisk, but Shawn's my favorite all-time wrestler. He is definitely my GOAT. That's why I said the asterisk. I feel like we got robbed of some years. You only have 4 world titles, bro. You could have. Randy Orton took 18 months off. I don't give a fuck if he took 2 years off. Him being in that invasion, the rivalries we could have had.
It's like Mike taking the year off. The Bulls could have won 7 in a row.
Exactly. So a little bit, people say with the gambler.
Yeah, he had his back hurt. He been wearing the perm since the 80s. That'll hurt your back too.
Hey, Austin Saucy, look at the amount he was getting paid too. It was like $750,000. It was like to sit on the sidelines.
That's been the thing in the WWE though. They'll pay you to not do nothing or go nowhere.
Well, because back then, if he would have went to WCW when WCW was running roughshod over there, oh shit. And then all of a sudden, he, like we just talked about the head injuries, he pop up, hey y'all, I got a few matches left. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, and
Shawn Michaels is their Sting.
Shawn Michaels is their Sting.
He's
the only guy.
Shawn Michaels was on the very first Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, versus Max Moon.
Another bad wrestling name.
Max Moon, bro. Yeah, you can go peep that shit. That colorful ass Lego outfit this motherfucker had on.
They had Minotaur.
Damien Demento. Don't forget about him.
Shockmaster.
Yo, Shockmaster was wild. That was Tugboat. Go watch when he breaks through that wall.
African Dream. Who was a white man?
Bro.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to press the button.
Remember, I told you about that shit too.
I didn't mean to press the button.
It irked me about that. You know what I'm saying?
Man was coming out there.
He is fucking wild, bro.
I tell you, man. If you don't know, go check out the last episode me and HP did. We actually took a deep dive into the how wrestlers of color have been booked under the Triple H era. And that came from the release and not the re-signing of Bobby Lashley that did not happen, and the release of Tamina and MVP. We did a deep dive on it, and we got real. That's what we do here on Attitude Era Podcast. We get real. We have fun, we crack jokes, but we keep it real and we keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got any more questions in the chat before we get up out of here?
Yeah, we do. We got Lulu516 in the Instagram. She's like, she got 3 comments. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go back and forth because it's a little wild. But she said Sean Berry Vader. Yes, he did.
Thank you, Lulu. Thank you, Lulu.
Yeah, he did. And that's not good. That wasn't cool. But and then she said they buried Booker T too. Hey, Lulu, please go check out what the Archie Carter just said. That episode.
I watched that full promo today. The longer I watched it, the worse it got. It's bad.
It's bad, bro.
What's the third comment? The third comment from Lulu.
Oh no, it was the Booker T. Booker T got buried too. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying, I read him in.
Dang, that's your favorite. He stopped Vader, and you know what I'm saying? Dang.
Yeah, I grew up. The reason why Shawn became my favorite, I'm not gonna.
Did you think you're cute? You know you sexy. You got the looks that drive the girls wild.
If any of my high school friends watch this shit, they're gonna tell some wild stories. You know those things that Shawn wears on his hand and have the little heart and they have the cutout. I don't know what the fuck I got. I had some shit like that, and I cut them and I colored them, and I used to do graffiti and shit. So I did a whole thing. And anyway, yeah. Shawn was jealous of The Rock.
I'm pretty sure it was like some pantyhose.
No, I wasn't even pantyhose. It was like literally like it was fit to my hand, so I could punch. It was just wild. Wow, we're not gonna get into what I was wearing on my hands. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. Yeah, Shawn was a little jealous of The Rock. I don't know if it's jealousy or I don't know what the term is for when you just don't want something. I'm not jealous of you. I just don't want to see you.
You know what? I enjoy, like when I watch movies, most times I root for the villains. I enjoy a good asshole.
My man right here?
Shawn Michaels was a little bit of an asshole that I kind of liked a little bit. And you know what made me think of that just now? The way he oversold Hulk Hogan in that ring and made Hogan look crazy. That match when he was selling and bumping crazy and flipping all over.
SummerSlam.
Hulk Hogan was so mad about that because Shawn made him look crazy.
Two things about that, or maybe it's just one big thing. They were supposed to do a trilogy, right? And guess who pulled their creative control? And all of a sudden, it's supposed to be Hulk, Shawn, and then the third match. And I don't know who's supposed to win the outcome of that, right? Because it was the Immortal versus the Icon and all that shit, right?
We know Hogan ain't put nobody over but Donald Trump.
And that's the thing. So then Shawn was like, all right, I got you. So he went out there and started selling like that.
I'm gonna make you look crazy.
But Shawn was like, that's how I was selling back in the 90s. If you go watch Shawn sell, he does sell like that in the 90s. He just doesn't sell every single move like that consecutively. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like he do that.
The only other time I saw Hulk Hogan upset like that was when Jeff Jarrett laid down for him. Hogan was pissed. But hey, Shawn Michaels is definitely an entertainer. So you know,
100%. Yo, I can't say it. I don't want to mess it up, but Mr. Singh, I want to hear what it is about your relationship with the WWE. Plus, we still got Lulu here. Lulu was talking about Hulk was another one he was jealous of. No, Hulk was another one jealous of the Macho Man. Yo, you remember in the double up, I made a mention that like he was always beating Macho Man. Like
in the what?
Every time he was he was always defeating Macho Man. But Lulu's comment was Hulk was another one. He was jealous of Macho Man. And then he wrote, he didn't want Macho Man to be a big star. And I 100%, the double up, I literally said in there, I was like, he's always beating Macho. Like, when I did that runoff, and I was like, yo, it was WrestleMania.
Yeah, we just dropped the latest episode of Double Up, which is Hulk Hogan. It normally comes out Wednesday, but we dropped it early, which is last Saturday. And if y'all don't know what Double Up is, it's a show on our channel where we take one wrestler who was two characters in two different companies, mainly Attitude Era, and we compare the careers. We did Hulk Hogan versus Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall versus Razor Ramon, Narcissist versus Lex Luger, Giant versus Big Show, 1-2-3 Kid versus X-Pac versus Six, and we have the latest one coming up, which I'm not going to tell y'all, but every Wednesday we drop
Kevin Nash versus Diesel.
We did Kevin Nash versus Diesel, but every Wednesday we drop a double up. Since we here, while I don't want to mess your name up either, but Brother Singh, I'm gonna call you, finishes his story. For all those who are new to this, I'm gonna tell you what we do every week on the Attitude Era podcast. Sunday, we drop interviews with wrestlers. This week, we dropped a brand new interview with Psycho Sid. Every Sunday, you get an interview from a wrestler. We've done Kurt Angle. We've done D'Lo Brown, Godfather, Eric Bischoff, Marty Jannetty. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, we did Marty Jannetty. We got a lot of interviews on this podcast, and we drop new ones frequently. So every Sunday, we drop interviews. Monday, 5 minutes after Raw, we are live here on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Tuesday, 5 minutes after NXT, live on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Wednesday, we drop the double ups, which I just told you about. Thursday is gaming with the gang. We kind of chill and we just game. We heavy on the 2K24. You want more info about that? Hit us up. Thursday is what's Thursday?
Thursday's gaming with the gang.
Thursday's game with the gang. It's late. Friday is the SmackDown recap. 5 minutes after SmackDown, we are live on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. If you can, please do us a favor, subscribe to the YouTube. We just hit 10,000 viewers and we are growing because of you, and we would like to keep on growing. Friday is SmackDown. Saturday, if there's a PLE, we do predictions. If there's a PLE, 5 minutes after, we are live right here on the Attitude Era podcast. And throughout the week, if something happens, we go live randomly. So hit the subscribe button on YouTube and the notification button so you don't miss it. And we also review and recap shows. We did Who Killed WCW. We did WrestleMania XL, Behind the Curtain. And me and HP, we have a show on our Patreon, exclusive and together and solo. So there's a lot going on here on Attitude Era podcast. So every day during the week, you're getting live content and or new content or both. And back to this story. What's the story we got here?
Yeah, so it's going. Hello, I am is related to I couldn't tell you, man. There's a lot of things within wrestling that, you know what I'm saying, they use like different symbolisms and different things. I gotta scroll through the Instagram a little bit. I gotta go back Holla, 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 holla. It looks
We
like
got you working tonight, HP.
I'm gonna just say the last part, Jose 11, RVIDXR. He mentioned that Liv Morgan tonight. He had the emojis going, you know what I'm saying? So we know what that is. It's like the panting emoji. So we already know. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see Liv cry, you know what I'm saying? That ain't even, you know what I mean? See, I gotta put your things back to back, Sing, so this way it makes more sense. Boom, right? So then you got Lulu. Lulu was asking about whose power bomb was better between Nash, Nash and Sid Vicious, Undertaker with the last ride, and then do y'all answer DMs? And that's from 5 Tiny. Randy Orton stole the diamond cutter from DDP as well.
Somebody asked that earlier. What was better, the diamond cutter or the RKO?
Yeah, you know, that's a whole.
RKO
Yeah.
is. I think RKO is more fluid. Diamond cutter was kind of slow at times. RKO, when they say out of nowhere, is literally one of those moves. Now it's a little setup, but the RKO is a move you can just pull out of anywhere. So I think the RKO is a little better than the diamond cutter.
I do too. I think Randy's just more refined with it, like you say. Like he's just more refined, some more refined.
Peace, Trap Lord. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. RKO. That's like Austin Stunner will be the best stunner out of any stunner, right? I hated the bookend. Love Booker T.
You hated the bookend?
The bookend?
I hate the name of it. It's
I
kind of
like
like
the scissor kick. I like the scissor kick better. And what
okay.
Stevie Ray had the slapjack. I'm gonna slapjack some fools.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. The scissor kick kind of
That Harlem Hangover move from the top rope Booker T used to do was crazy though. I ain't gonna hold you. That was the fact that he even did that was wild.
5 Tiny 12. You did ask, do y'all answer DMs? I read it out loud and didn't even say nothing. Yeah, we do answer DMs, but it depends on if it's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna start reading through these a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So before
it's
I
not
click
the
it, I'm just
reading
gonna
through them, it's the saying out loud what you read.
no, I even put them on the screen because there was some I didn't even put on for you know what I'm saying. But now I'm like, all right, but let me read them faster. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
we're just glad y'all tapping in with us on
But if
Instagram.
it's related to wrestling, even if it's not even on the topic, typically I'll
Gore
just
better than a regular spear.
I think on taller people the spear looks better / Gore. When Rhino does it, I think always because Rhino's a smaller guy and he's like
like a
running
bullet.
back style build.
He's like a bullet.
Yeah, I do like. It's the same move, but however, I think when Rhino catches people, it does look a little because he's smaller. Typically,
I think a lot of people use the spear just as a move. Rhino, it was his finish. Rhino hit you with the gore, you wasn't getting up. So that invasion angle was trash. I think they tried to relive the glory days because you didn't need a new NWO, you didn't need a new DX. You could have just the Wizard was the Millionaires Club. That was a good angle. The end of WCW when they had the top guys getting paid and the up and comers, that could have really been something. But of course, it was really a divide in the locker room. We didn't know that. So
shout out to 5 Tiny's first time tapping in, so definitely shout out to you. Lulu 516. Edge made the spear look weak.
I don't think Edge had a good spear.
I don't know, man. When I think of the spear from Edge, first thing I think is that ladder match on Jeff Hardy. Like
what about the rest of his career? It wasn't
okay.
It's kind of like now that Jey Uso uses it. Like
yeah. I think you got to protect some of these finishers, man. Like the super kick, everybody's super kicking.
That was Jake the Snake's biggest thing about the DDT. He's like, I do the DDT, you're not getting up. It's one move. Then if we think about it, somebody dropping your head into the ground, you shouldn't be getting up.
That's like Razor Ramon. I promise you. Go look at Razor Ramon's career. You ain't gonna find
Edge Spear go with it. So we might be divided on the Edge.
You look
Spear.
a little divided. But Razor Ramon's finisher, the Razor's Edge, he only used it when he knew he was going to win the matches. which is another thing he did. So whenever he used it, it ain't gonna be no kick out because
I think because the setup for it was so kind of like, okay, I have to beat you down to set this move up. So when I do it, it's not getting up. You know what? The jackknife was like that too. Kevin Nash was just dropping people.
I ain't gonna hold you. I thought Sid Vicious powerbomb was like the best one.
Oh, that's probably the best powerbomb in business.
Yeah, I definitely liked.
When I think powerbomb, I think Sid Vicious.
I do too. I definitely do. More than the last ride and all that other stuff. Even though Undertaker used to try to hike him up even more just to get that extra oomph on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, too many super kicks. We just talking about that right now. Yep, 100% agree. Devon, you already know. Yep. At least when HBK did it, you knew it was the beginning and end. Also, he set it up with the band. The band is tuning up. Boom.
Yeah, I don't know when that started, but who started that, but that was a great addition to his finisher. Kind of like when Randy does that turn and he starts pounding on the ground.
Yeah, like you dress it up. You dress it up. Yeah. We got some challenges over on Instagram. Lulu516, she's talking about Mike Awesome. His was good too.
Awesome Bomb was crazy. Awesome Bomb was crazy.
5 Tiny said, yo, Bautista had a crazy power bomb. The Bautista bomb.
I never liked the sit out with the Bautista bomb.
So speaking of that, I used to like Ahmed Johnson's Pearl River Plunge. Oh man, okay, I got shit on. All right, well, we gonna because it was a double underhook like a pedigree, and then he would flip him up into a power bomb and then sit down with it.
And Ahmed Johnson shouldn't have been doing that to people. There's some good power bombs out there. We might have to. Ahmed Johnson shouldn't have been wrestling.
Let
alone flipping people in the air and slamming them on the back of their heads. No disrespect, because as a kid, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm from Louisiana. I saw this big, strong black man from Mississippi. I know where the Pearl River is.
He
had a move called the Pearl River Plunge. I was excited about that until I got older and realized, yeah.
He is the first black intercontinental champion. Let's also keep that, you know what I'm saying? But
is he?
Mm-hmm. Ahmed Johnson.
Well, and you can't question his blackness.
No, I'll never forget that live wire when Ron Simmons, Farouk called in. I was a kid, like, oh,
they had beef.
Yeah, I was like,
no. The first time,
he's like, get him off the phone, dog. Get him off the phone. He started talking like Kevin Garnett, bro.
We witnessed drop your location in real time.
Yo, in real time.
They're like, we could meet somewhere in gas station bathroom and bang it out, and nobody gotta know. Like they had serious beef.
Yo, the Cyclone one, I think I said your name right. I hope I did anyway, but no disrespect if I didn't, brother. Ahmed couldn't deliver a promo to save his life. That's why his career came and went.
Bro, Ahmed couldn't deliver a pizza to save his life.
Y'all killing this man. I may agree with parts of what y'all saying. The promo thing, he had like, this is gonna sound bad. His promos were okay. His promos were good when they're short, sweet. Don't get him talking too much. That's it. Just let him say, "I'm gonna come." Pause, because I cut that off right at the worst time. But like, okay, I really can't think of a good promo he did.
Right,
but he fit the bill because in the ring he looked great. He slammed
the 600 part. There's a lot of the part. Yeah, F5 is crazy. That's probably my favorite finisher. Divine F5, but I really used to like Psychosis, his guillotine leg drop. No, Hoover 2, 450 splash, and all those because I was a big fan of the luchadors in WCW. So seeing 450 splashes, Billy Kidman shooting star press every time he did that was like amazing to me. So a lot of those top rope finishes, like they still like excite the kid in me. So I'm a big top rope finish guy.
J Raw 609, he said Farouk had beef with Ahmed Johnson. That's 100% fact, and that's what I'm referring to with that live wire episode with Todd. Was it Todd Pettengill? I just remember. No, it was a chick that was standing there. No, I think it was Todd Pettengill.
It was time, but it was Real Black
real
dropped
shit.
the location first time. They was,
and he couldn't wait to kick him in his kidney because they. Yo,
this how we
Ron
got to cut the
Simmons.
live off. But if y'all vibing with us, we're gonna vibe back with y'all because this is
Ron
the Attitude
Simmons.
Era podcast. 5 minutes after anything WWE, I gave you the rundown. But if you didn't catch the rundown, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube. We just hit 10,000 subscribers and hit the notification bell. What you laughing at, man?
Yo, I'm just thinking about when I seen Ahmed first kick Ron, right? And I didn't think
You
nothing.
know what we gonna do? We gonna sit down on this podcast one day, and we gonna watch some Ahmed Johnson matches. That's what me and you gonna do.
I didn't think his matches were that. They weren't that great. He doesn't have no great matches. I'm trying to think of who he beat for the Intercontinental title. I believe it was Goldust. But I remember he was about to be the first Black World. There was a chance he was going to be the first Black World Champion. If you go back, this is 1997, I believe now, right? Because Shawn carries that title through 96 into Survivor Series. Then
I think I had an Ahmed Johnson action figure. Actually,
they did, and I had it. It was a black, yeah. They had, I want to say it was Mattel or Toy Biz that had like the 5-inch figures. You know what I'm saying, at the time, and they were very.
Those figures actually looked really good back then too.
At that time, yes, they did. I used to take mine from KB Toys.
I remember my sister had a project she was doing with like some gladiators type stuff, and they couldn't find actual gladiators. So my mom and my sister found a Ric Flair figure, and they put Ric Flair in the project surrounded by lions. I was like, hey, if you're gonna put anybody in the lions, then it might well be the Nature Boy. Which is funny because I forget what TV show I watched. It was episodes of cartoon where they went to Ric Flair Nature Camp. And Ric Flair was teaching him how to camp. He was suplexing canoes and all that. And I thought about that. I tell you, that's why I like wrestling, because it ties me to a part of my life and childhood where it wasn't no bills. It wasn't no heartbreak. It wasn't no breakups. It wasn't no bad knee. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't.
Yeah.
It take me back there, and that's what wrestling is for me. So these hours we get to talk to y'all, all that stuff in the real world don't exist, and this is where we at. That's why we appreciate y'all for commenting and watching and tapping with us. Like I said, that's King HP. For those who don't know, I'm the Archie Carter. You can follow us on all our socials. DNA joined us in the beginning, but he had to dip because that man get like 4 hours of sleep.
Schedule right now,
his schedule is crazy right now. Hours, but somebody got to steer the ship. Any other comments you want to get to? Anything y'all want to know before we tap out? Because it's definitely late. And
there's a couple more. I'm gonna knock these 3 out real quick, or at least put them out there, and then we'll see where they go. Cyclone 1, Eddie has the most signature frog splash. RVD had the flashiest frog splash.
The way RVD, that recoil, that was crazy. That would have been nice to ask him about, because we have an interview with Rob Van Dam on the Attitude Era podcast as well, asking him about the recoil. And that's probably the most, I want to say, flexible and fit guy in wrestling that I can think of.
Off the top of my head, males.
He used to do the splits on the chairs. He used to
he used to be like Rob Van Dam. I mean,
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Thank you, because I was fucking that up.
And I think he get high all the time. So
they even got that in the game about it's 4:18. I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna leave I'll be back in a couple minutes. You know what I mean? Like JR Raw 609, he got 2 comments. He said, "What do you think about Too Cold Scorpio?" which is Flash Funk, and then he said facts. And he was back to what you were talking about with the wrestling and how it kind of brings you back to the childhood.
Too Cold Scorpio is one of the most underspoken about wrestlers, I think, in wrestling. I think he was a few years ahead of his time because he wasn't a little guy. He was a big man doing, like I said, I love the luchadors and the high flyers. He was doing that stuff back then when nobody was doing it. So, and to think this was a black man, he kind of looked like MC Hammer a little bit. I always thought he was like a wrestling MC Hammer. because he was dancing and he was entertaining, but he can also wrestle. But Flash Funk, aka Too Cold Scorpio, I think he still wrestles, which is amazing. Definitely underappreciated, and he's one of those guys people don't talk about, but they should.
I gotta see if I can get this. I gotta see if I can get this shit.
Oh man, I see that, Gene.
I hope to God. I mean, you might be right. Maybe it's something I never noticed. You know what I'm saying?
The MC Hammer comparison?
Yeah.
You never compared Flash Funk to MC Hammer.
That was the first I ever heard that shit.
You got me put it up. Maybe it was just me.
It might have been, or maybe because sometimes like people are geared after people. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by geared after people is like Razor Ramon, right? He's built on Scarface's image. So even you saying that, they might have said, okay, we want you to be like MC Hammer. And they gave him what they wanted him to kind of go out there and execute. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, as Flash Funk, he was Flash Funk. But if he would have came in and been Too Cold Scorpio, but that's not his thing. That's a Vince McMahon and creative. If they say you're going to do this, you're going to do it.
He was Too Cold Scorpio in ECW.
Yeah, and that's how he should have came in. I don't want to see the dance in the zip joint, you know what I'm saying? In the one, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to see all that. So it kind of ruined it for me. But I was like, maybe
He got the coat in the hat.
I never felt MC Hammer vibe. I thought he was a failed
Godfather. MC Hammer.
I thought he was a failed Godfather. That's what I thought they were trying to pull off.
This is before Godfather.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They failed. I just thought,
bro, that's MC Hammer with the dancers. Yeah, Flash Funk.
Yeah, I mean, people saw it. Young travelers say it.
Look at him. That's Hammer. Chat.
Now that you're saying it, I kind of get it. And look, Vince dancing and shit.
Vince always gonna dance. That's the Hammer coat. That's the Hammer.
Yo, that motherfucker Triple H. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but when we talk about that one promo, I like you said, you watched it. He said, "Dance."
I'm just holding it up to see if he gonna dance because that was, to me as a child, MC. Look at him. Look, HP. That's Hammer. He dancing.
Okay. Yo. Now I see it as an adult. Like that's what they were trying to pull off. Okay, cool. I never thought of that at the time. Oh man, I missed a gang of comments, bro. I think wrestling died when Austin turned bad at WrestleMania 17. Lulu said that. What? I don't believe that.
I don't think the term was necessary. We could rapid fire them real quick. I don't. Vince was getting it. I don't think he needed to turn. That was a weird turn for Austin.
Too Cold Scorpio was ahead of his time. The only Jelly Roll Entertainment said that. Creature Glass. Did I say that right? Yeah, Creature Glass. Creature Glass says Flash Funk was fire. So I'm catching L's right now. Undertaker should have never buried DDP as well. I think the company did that shit.
DDP never been in WWE, WWF, because that was one character that never stood.
Everybody. Vince do this to everybody that come from other companies unless
DDP never stood a chance in WWE.
I mean, think about what he did to Sting. Think about this, right? Sting represents, he is WCW through and through.
But that's why Sting said he never wanted to go over there because of that. We talked about that
eventually, and I'm saying when he did, what did he do? Take a loss on WrestleMania.
And Seth Rollins broke his neck. What's the next? What's the next question, man? Speedball. We rapid fire right now.
Oh, rapid fire. All right.
I'm glad y'all messing with my Flash Funk take, because that showed me y'all real ones out there. Shout out to y'all being for real ones.
J Raw 609. Some of McMahon's gimmicks buried some wrestlers. And then the Cyclone one agreed to that. Facts, J Ross. J Ross, he buried a lot of those WCW, ECW guys. It's a shame. Lulu, he buried Booker T as well. We saw that comment earlier. And
yeah, Booker T, everything he got, he earned. Nothing was given to that man.
Vince wrote a wave. Creature Glass came back. Vince wrote a wave of gimmicks, and it got old quick. And I agree with virtually every last one of them comments, not even trying to be funny. Vince is just constantly trying to burn. The invasion angle could have been better, but the guys didn't want to come. They were still under contract getting paid
If you haven't seen Who Killed WCW, check that out and check out our recap of it. We watched every episode and talked about it. Vince got off on Barry. I mean, you know, Vince got off on a lot of things we learning about these days, but that's another conversation for another day. Because I think we about to wrap this one up. HP, what you got to say to the people real quick before we get up out of here?
Hey,
y'all was
only
live
thing
tonight. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all was live. Y'all was live for real, for real. We
yes,
appreciate y'all.
only thing I'm gonna really put in there, and only thing I'm gonna really put in. I see that Instagram comment, Lulu. I'll just read it. Benoit should have been celebrated. Chris Gillette.
Oh
Heck
man,
yeah,
thank
I'll
y'all
check
for
it out.
tuning in. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's
No, go ahead.
wild. That's wild.
No, what you say? I want to know.
Patreon comment. Patreon. Make sure you tap in there and go ahead and join up on the tiers. We have exclusive new comment. Not only is there now with They Got Us, but we have more shows that are going to exclusively go to Patreon. So not only do we have everything we drop on these YouTubes and things you're now seeing on Instagram and the things you're also seeing on Twitter, but you didn't see it tonight, but it will be. We'll have exclusive shows coming to the Patreon. One's already there.
It's called They Got Us, and we talk about when they got us. Like, we talk about wrestling angles they got us. The first one we did is, when did you realize Yokozuna was not Japanese or even a sumo wrestler? He's
check this one out.
He's part of Anoa'i family. He's the Usos' uncle. What does that mean?
That was for Jean-Claude Van Damme and RVD. That one might be a joint too.
Yeah, so there was a lot of content. Every Sunday we drop a weekly calendar, so y'all can know everything we're doing during the week. You can catch that on my personal Instagram at the Archie Carter or Attitude Errors. It goes across all socials, but you know, all hell Triple H, man. Triple H, they on his head top this week, man. People don't like what he did to Booker T, man. It's starting to resurface.
Yeah, but that's it.
Nasty work, Triple H. Nasty work, but it wasn't nasty work tonight, man. We got a whole almost 2 hours in tonight. DNA stopped by. The man.
Thank you, B. Payton. 216 says you guys do good work,
and we appreciate y'all. Y'all do good work because it said we chatting with y'all. You're not gonna get that too many other places. A lot of these channels going to just hold your comments, ignore your comments. We try to catch them all when we can. We Pokemon out here. You heard me? Arch catch them. Got to catch them all, but we'll be back tomorrow night, 5 minutes after NXT goes off the air. We are live on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. But your best and safest bet is to subscribe to YouTube and hit the notification button because we go live there mainly. And that's really the hub of everything. Everything's on the YouTube. And we will catch y'all tomorrow after NXT goes off the air, 5 minutes. This Attitude Era podcast is DNA, the Archie Carter, Z the Dropout. That's King HP, and my man Gamaj, who got the internet on fire right now with the Psycho Sid interview. It's catching fire right now. I did like 10,000 in 2 days. So yeah, man. Shout out to Trap Lord. Yeah. And if anybody played the game, we on that too. So drop your gamer tags and we're gonna tap in with all that. But I'm getting tired, my voice starting to hurt, and I need to make a run. So HP, got anything?
Nah, that's it.
One more thing. Follow. I don't know what that is, but I'll check it out. You know what I'm saying? We check out stuff too. We like to be entertained too. I'm gonna check it out. Whatever it is. Better not be nothing funny or nobody get my information asking me if I want a job.
Better not be. I'm gonna check it out.
Y'all be bugging, but we ain't bugging. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm the Archie Carter. That's King HP. This is Attitude Era Podcast. Weekly recaps. 5 minutes after NXT tomorrow night. We see y'all.
Yeah.
Peace.